Why are you doing this? This is insanity!
Oh, but you see, I can't stop this feeling that's deep inside of me. Those girls don't realize what they do to me. When they hold me real close, in their branches so tight, they let me know that this is alright. I'm hooked on this feeling. Oh, fine, I'll reference some good 70s music some other time. It's here, it's beautiful. And boy howdy am I excited to finally talk about the second DLC to hit Rimworld Ideolody. Seriously, be honest people, did any of you think we'd get more after royalty? Me and my team honestly thought we wouldn't get more official DLC since Oscar and his team tended to fill that gap in with their vanilla expanded stuff. Well, guess we owe someone a Coke. So today's video will go over new features, some role-playing ideas from said features, and whether or not this DLC is worth getting, not to mention, compare it to the previous DLC. As always, do like and subscribe, as that really does help us stay on people's radar. And for every 89 likes, we force a captured prisoner to join us in recreations of awesome retro music videos.
You hear the rumor?
Rumor? I hear a lot of things.
I mean the one about Noobert, and how he is paying for all this.
Oh. You mean how he has patrons on Patreon, and how $1 a month can go a long way.
Well, looks like that wasn't enough. Send a message on all frequencies that we will provide exclusive content to people who donate at least $1 to us a month.
But, what about people who can't, or don't want to send us money?
Well, they can always go to our Discord to hang out with us. That's never a problem, though I admit maybe if they brought some candles that would be helpful. Oh. So what is the main thing you get from Ideology? Well, the main feature is the belief system, which is composed of 1 to 4 core memes, no, Bren, not those kind of memes. These core memes, more or less, are the backbone of your religion, which include, and I'm sure modders will add more of these coming months, animal personhood, where animals are equal to people, ranchers, where raising animals for meat is the core value while plant eating isn't, darkness, where light is your enemy, pain is virtue, where masochists will feel right at home, tunnelers for those of us who want to play Dwarf Fortress but without having to actually learn Dwarf Fortress, tree connection for those of us who want to be a tree-hugging hippie, nudism, great for parties, not so great for defense, blind sight when you don't want to see the world's falsehoods, plus blind swordsmen are cool. Cannibals, which, let's be honest, half of the player base was already practicing this one. Transhumanists, where the flesh is weak. Flesh purity, for when you really hate bionics, like really hate them. Raider, where the strong should take much from the weak, which, like cannibals, half of us were already doing. Proselytizer, I said that wrong, which means your pawns will try and convert others to their belief. High life, which means lots and lots of drugs. Definitely good for the hippie commune playthrough. Natural primacy, where humanity is the enemy of nature, and the opposite belief of human primacy, where humans are the dominant force. There is male and female supremacy, which is great for role-playing options. Then for more broad strokes, we have generic supremacy, where we should rule all. Loyalist, where we stand for our own rather than others. Guilty, where we believe we deserve all the bad things that happen to us and should work to fix that through charity. Individualism, where the individual can be greater than the whole. Then of course, there is collectivism, which is, yeah, that. Need I say more? Have fun recreating the Soviet Union. Good for you. So you picked your core memes, but now you gotta pick your precepts. These are your rules and guidelines that your pawns will want to follow. Some precepts are actually required by some of the core memes. For example, cannibalism. This obviously is a requirement for anyone who picked that core meme, but you don't have to follow that if you have a different set of values. Or hell, maybe you do. Make a transhumanist animal-loving cult of people who happen to also have a thing for long pork. Perhaps you are against eating nutrient paste, or maybe you want to eat it because you deserve it. There is the number of spouses you can have. Certain animals are venerated and you can't harm them in any way. Discord's pinging. Stop. Discord, stop. It's Bren, stop Discord pinging me during the recording. Even weapon worship, with some weaponry being considered holy and others sacrilegious. The best part of a lot of these is that they are completely customizable, and once again, you know modders will figure out how to add even more precepts. So have fun, make the religion of your dreams and your enemies' nightmares, and work to convert them to your cause. So, have you decided to convert to Noobertism?
I mean, worshipping a fox sounds great, but I'm allergic to foxes.
We have a good bionic program. My writer absolutely loves robotic parts, and we can definitely give you a bionic nose to fix that.
Hey, I'm a body purist.
Yeah, and I'm a cannibal and I'm pretty hungry. So, how does one convert others to your cause? Well, most colonists will talk to others and over time try to convert others to their cause. More so if their beliefs involve proselytizing others. Though as in real life, trying to force beliefs onto others doesn't always work out. You can, of course, have your warden work to convert prisoners, or you can even use the special abilities of your moral guide to convert others. But what is a moral guide? That's the question. Well, that's a segue to the social roles system. This system is used to assign colonists to certain roles in your colony. The moral guide you can use as your religious leader, the one who helps the mental well-being of your colonists and converts others. There are, of course, other roles you can make, like head warrior, who is your main line of defense, crop tender, to keep the plants nice and healthy for worship, or even head healer, to of course keep your people alive and well. Though there are some downsides to using these roles, some people will refuse to do certain jobs if they run counter to the role they have, though in return they do their roles a lot better than the average pawn. So feel free to experiment with specialists, but be careful not to accidentally cripple your colony. Now this is the good stuff, definitely getting my mind expanded. Whoa, I think he might be a little too high, bro. Never mind. Alright, keep smoking. I gotta finish this video. He's not too high anymore. Right, you might be wondering what that was about. Well, it was one of the rituals you can perform now, the smoke circle. Great for expanding the mind and getting your pawns closer to one another, not to mention happier. Rituals are player-controlled events that if you have the right setup, you can have your pawns doing an event. For example, you could have a dance party, great to make friends, get people to have fun, and dance the night away, like it's the 1970s. There is stuff like gladiatorial fighting, great for the Roman inside of us, especially since you can use prisoners or slaves for this. Yeah, that's right, they actually took one of the more evil mods on the workshop and put it into the game. Beautiful, love it. You can do a sacrifice of a prisoner or animal to whatever deity you want, which is pretty old school. Great if you worship old ones or Aztec gods. Ritualistic binding and sacrificion can also be done to induct people to your order if you so wish, though I have to wonder how a blind pawn can properly blind another pawn. Yeah, you got plenty of options for rituals though. Rituals that aren't religious can also be done, like the leader speeches from the Royalty DLC now have been folded into the ritual system. But now you have the trial ritual, where the colony's leader will accuse another pawn of a crime. That pawn will then try and defend themselves. If they fail and are found guilty, you can then perform the public execution with no one having a problem with that. Finally, there is the tree connection ritual. This is one where your pawns can connect themselves to the newly added Guanlin. Bren, how do we say this one?
Gowranlin.
Good enough. But why would you do that? Well, you now have the power to summon dryads. What is a dryad? Plant creatures, who, based on how you tend the
Gowranlin
tree, you can influence the dryads that live in it to protect the tree. First, you have the carriers who act as haulers for you, the crawler who may not have a lot of defenses but can definitely rip apart anyone who gives them a chance, barkskins who are tanky, great for protecting your pawns, woodmakers who can give you a supply of wood, great for playthroughs where you don't want to have to harvest trees, medicine makers who can give you a supply of herbal meds, berry makers who provide a very big bounty of bright berries. Finally, gown makers who actually can make more of the trees to make more dryads. I am of the belief after reading the devlog that if you have these dudes, everybody gets sad if you cut trees. So just keep that in mind. They'll be sad if you cut trees. Utilizing dryads aren't necessary to survive, but I definitely can see the value in all of these little wooden helpers.
Noobert, enough! This belongs in a museum!
And I keep telling you, Idaho Mo, that I need to fund my addiction of chinchillas and blow.
Listen, let me help you. I know a program that can help you get off that path.
Good work, Brent. Now take him home. The fox will love this offering. The question system got some add-ons. See, when starting your playthrough, you'll also have the option to create relics. Even name them too, though you won't start with them. You can find them later through the quest system. These quests include going through ancient temples and shrines that may still have powerful security bots protecting them. Space drones that you will have to protect while you hack their system to obtain the location of a relic, perhaps an ancient terminal worshipped by another group who don't deserve the information that is held inside. You got plenty of ways to find these holy relics. Though even if you aren't hunting for relics, you can still hunt in ancient complexes that are full of that sweet, sweet loot. Temporary encampments will be set up by other factions, and they won't just be raider bases. They will be stuff like logger camps, mines, and hunting lodges. Perfect targets if you are the type of guy to choose raider or need more bodies for the kitchen and the dining table. Finally, you can get groups of beggars who show up asking for aid. Helping them might have them come to you with a reward in the future. This also helps your people's morale if your beliefs involve charity, of course. For every other normal player, you can enslave them, kill them, and do what happens 90% of the time on the rim. Now, how about buildings? You gotta have some new toys to build and play with, and this DLC of course includes everything you need for a proper church, from pews for people to sit down on, with kneeling pillows and carpets, lecterns to perform rituals from, reliquaries to put relics in and bring in the followers, and the disco ball for your sweet rave parties. Now some beliefs actually unlock certain items you can build. For example, if your pawns are into pain and suffering, you unlock slab beds, which are super uncomfortable places to sleep. Sleep accelerators are unlocked by transhumanists to speed up their sleep at the cost of power and more hunger. With Body Purist, you unlock the Biosculptor, which reverses the aging process and heals scars. Finally, Body Purists aren't completely worthless. Gibbet cages, which you can put prisoners in to make them suffer, or just dead bodies to make people freak out. What's a Gibbet cage? This is one. Okay, yeah, that's gonna put the fear of Fox into a prisoner of slaves. Yes, slaves. You now can have slaves in base Rimworld. The slave system is pretty simple. You get slaves either from purchasing them from traders or enslaving them from prisoners. They work like normal colonists, albeit at a slower pace for obvious reasons, and can even arm them for combat. Though keep in mind a slave can rebel if they get a chance, so keep the fear of the fox in them. You can give them collars and body straps to keep them in line, use terror statues or the previously mentioned Gibbet cage to give them fear, or just have your warden remind them politely why they are slaves and they are here. Of course, some beliefs crave slavery and others abhor it, so pay attention to that before you start your totally legal tea farm that would make the spiffing Brit proud. Another cool feature is style. You can have furniture have a style relating to belief, like a techno, cyberpunk look for those who love technology, to the morbid, grimdark look with skulls and bones for the Warhammer fans and all of us. Or maybe you want a ranch-looking place. It's all there, and pawns will be much happier in a place that matches their belief. Plus, if you are going to make a Doom cult, gotta go the extra mile. Clothing also has an added mechanic. Along with new clothing, of course, you can finally dye your clothing. That's right, you can make your cult culture complete with matching clothing. Yes! Make the cult of your dreams like these people. Alright, you had your fun. You made the cult of your dreams and your enemy's nightmares. What now? Well, you got one final way out of the game, a new endgame goal, and it's a doozy. The Arachnix... Bren.
Arconexus.
Thank you. How it works is that your pawns can study this ancient powerful machine that is sent to alter the fabric of reality itself, and guess what? It does work. Of course, you need to find it, and to do that, you need to find 3 map structures, study them, and then make it to the location of the Nexus. When you do, your select pawns and animals you brought will leave that reality and end up in a new one. In gameplay terms, it's a partial reset. You leave the planet with those colonists to a new one to start over. Seems like a pretty cool concept, all things considered, and with the promise of a new ending song by Alistair Lindsay. I'm excited to try and see that ending through. Now for the final question, is this DLC worth it? At $20, I say it's a resounding yes. While the Royalty DLC did add a few mechanics you might have used, not as many really changed how you played too much. The rework quests and the mechanoid clusters did add some fun. You weren't always going to interact with the nobility though. The DLC meanwhile adds a gameplay that encourages new types of playing and rewards you for it. Heck, it made Body Purists an actually viable trait. I highly recommend getting this DLC and let us know what your future cult is going to be like. Ours is definitely worshipping foxes while being cannibalistic transhumanists. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you all for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please smash the subscribe button, hit that like button, and come join us on the Discord. And if you haven't yet and you want to see our videos early, go ahead and go donate $1 on Patreon. It's a coffee a month. And you get early access to our content. You get Patreon-only streams. Depending on your donation, you get exclusive, one-time-only merch shipped to your place every 3 months. Pretty cool stuff. Other than all that, I will see you guys in the next video. Now click on it. You better click on the next video. You better stay on this channel. You're not allowed anywhere else on YouTube. Stay here.